Just a quick message to thank everyone who was given the first episode of the Drumming Mastermind podcast a go. I'm over the moon to hear some good feedback from people around the world, which encourages me to grow this project in order to inspire, motivate, and educate as many musicians as possible. Although this is a new venture for me, I can already see where I can improve and make this project better for everyone, so I hope you all come along for the ride. I want to give a huge thanks to Anup and Nic. Both of you guys suggested I start a podcast, and I'm beyond words that you guys were both keen to hop on the first official episode together. Without getting too cheesy, I'm super grateful for you guys. You're both incredibly inspiring drummers and all-round awesome humans, and I'm so thankful for your support. I'm still overjoyed that we not only got to speak one-on-one, but also in a group setting. It's such an amazing and rare opportunity to have two of your favorite drummers in one place talking drums. To all the viewers, please find both these legends on all their socials if you're not already, and support them and all the things they do. They are both amazing teachers and also have their own epic sounding drum libraries, so definitely check them out. Again, thank you all for tuning in. We've spoken about it one-on-one, but just want to revisit a few together. Where do you think drumming started, and what was its purpose?
I have a good theory.
Go for it.
I think this has got to be close to accurate, but it's definitely some sort of tribal thing, right? Some sort of ritualistic tribal thing that would have happened when we were like cavemen coming out of, or even earlier. Maybe it was even like before, whether you believe in evolution or not, before when we, apes totally bash themselves on their chest as a form of communication. I don't know what they're fucking saying, but they must be saying something, or portraying some sort of emotion of some kind. So that it either would have started there, and then, or maybe cavemen saw them doing it and then they adopted it, and somehow it became some sort of ritualistic first, prehistoric form of music. I think it would have been the first instrument for sure.
Yeah,
easily. Or like just smashing a stick on a tree or something, like.
So even back then, it was the coolest thing to do.
Definitely, definitely. Someone had a stick and a T-Rex skin drum. They were just rocking around doing gravity blasts on it.
T-Rex skin on a drum. Holy shit! That's when metal was invented too.
Do you reckon, right? Do you reckon that's close? It's close to accurate. What's your I
would have probably said something very similar, just like stomping on the ground for some kind of ritual type that it like created with your own body first, right? And then evolved into like a more cultural thing into different cultures, and they expressed it differently. And
and they figured out how to like make bearing edges and snare wires. So straight into snare drums before you knew it. We were at 10-piece drum kits.
You really think about it, man. A drum is not really that totally complex.
Not at all. It's actually quite basic.
Not to like shit on the companies that we like.
The drum companies are secretly like, oh, they're onto us now.
Holy shit. It's actually not that hard. No. There's definitely art into making drums, but like the idea itself is very, very straightforward.
Well, look at percussion stuff now, like bongos, djembes, and whatever. Or like, I don't know, look at the tambourine. It's just a circle with a head on it with some little cymbal thingies.
Iconic.
Yeah.
I love tambourine, man. Anytime session work comes along, I try and sneak it in on a song here and there.
Yeah, layer that tambourine.
Just like, that was awesome. It like spiced that section up, and I was like, cool.
Yeah, really pushed it through. Or the shaker, getting out a shaker and bringing out my like year 6 concert band percussion skills totally come into play now. It's like, oh, I know how to do this. I did this for like 38 bars in concert band.
Man, they're actually hard to get to sound good or to get it to do like the consistent. It's hard.
There's almost like 4 velocities to it.
Yeah.
And it has a nice little groove. And you get
I remember being in a studio one time and the engineer being like, of course, everyone points to the drummer to go do the tambourine part as if like I'm a tambourine specialist. I go out there and I'm just like, guys, like, it's a tambourine. I get it. I'm a percussion. I play drums, but like, I don't know how to properly do it. So the engineer actually came out and recorded the part for us, which was hilarious. And that's when I also learned like a little bit how to make it easier on yourself, like a tambourine or a shaker.
Yeah, the technique.
The one thing you taught me with the shaker was just back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And it like...
yeah, and you're like, oh God, like, but this motion as well, you're getting the 2 different velocities on the beat, and then like the softer ones on the E and R's. That's too technical. It's cool though, you know, it has a real human feel to it. I like it.
Yeah, crazy.
We can just MIDI it now though, it's fine.
Just one ties it to the grid.
Yeah.
I don't have a MIDI tambourine or a shaker. Kind of think
it's the only thing that you actually need to record then. It's the only reason you have a studio.
my workflow, man, it's suffering greatly.
You need to sample it. Surely you got samples now.
Yeah, but it's too nerdy. Like, it almost takes, huh?
It could be the new Anup sample pack. Taking some tambourines. Do it.
Just troll people.
I bet it'd be super popular.
You'd sell it. You'd sell at least one. Definitely. No doubt.
Speaking of origins, what got you guys into drums in the first place?
I used to play clarinet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn, that's a shit.
But like as a kid, so I didn't really play it. I was just experimenting and needed something to do after school. And then my best friend at the time played like the easiest thing ever on a concert snare drum. Do bat do between the rim and the snare. And I remember turning around just being like, oh my God, that is the coolest shit I've ever heard. And I was hooked.
Yeah, wow. Powerful moment.
Powerful moment, yeah.
Have you thanked that friend? Are you still friends?
We're not friends anymore. Well, I mean, it's not like we like are mad at each other. He just went his way and I went my way.
Yeah. Well,
So.
shout out to him.
What'd you do with the clarinet after that?
I still have it somewhere around here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's your technique? Do you ever whip it out? Because it's hard to play, man. Like the reed and the...
Dude, it's so hard, man.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. But no, I'd never break it out. So I don't even have reeds or anything to actually.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sure it has to be cleaned and like it's probably gross. You know what I mean? Like
Still
Yeah.
interesting. That was the day the clarinet just got coveted. You just like... well, my dad was a drummer, and he had an old Rogers kit, which I still have, which is awesome.
that.
So nice, dude. But initially in year 3, I wanted to play guitar, and I started the school band in year 3. So that's like, what's that? 6 or 7, I think, year 3.
I think so.
8
At 7 or 8.
Yeah, 7 or 8. And they were like, there's like at the school that I went to, there was a day where you go and try all the instruments and see what instrument you like, kind of thing. and I was going with the intention to play guitar. So I was like, went in there like, where's the guitar? And they're like, there is no guitar in the school band. And I was like, oh, well, I'll play drums then. And then that's just kind of how it happened, because I was like, I'm already got a drum kit at home, so I'll do that. And
Do you know how to play guitar?
no,
Wow.
idea. I just thought it was really cool when I was a kid. I thought it was cooler than drums when I was a kid. So that was my initial. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get the guitar, and they denied that. So I was like, I'll just grab the drums in, and I'm glad I did, because I think it would work better for me. But I wouldn't be doing this right now. But
Do you play anything else outside of drums?
nah. Well, I try and play piano. I enjoy playing piano. My parents have a really nice piano, and
That's cool.
So I will sit there, and I mean, actually, the piano was the first instrument that I learned. Like when I was in year 2, my mum got me piano lessons, but I didn't like it, so we didn't really continue that. And I didn't retain any of the information that was given to me. So these days, I'm just finding notes and chords that resonate with me, and then I'll make a little riff or a little passage and play it for.
That's pretty cool.
It's usually like very soul warming sort of stuff. I only sit on it, and it's usually when I'm in a certain mood, and I play how I feel, kind of thing. And it's very, there's no pressure on it at all. I don't really know what I'm doing, so it's like all about the sounds that I'm making, I guess. And the piano resonates so nicely, especially when you're just holding chords. It's, I don't know, the wood and it's beautiful. It's very calming.
That's one instrument that I wish I had like picked up at some point, because like making like fun chords on a piano is so easy because everything is right there in front of you.
Yeah.
But like, I wish I had the actual fluidity to connect stuff, and even if it was slow, right? Yeah. But such a cool instrument.
I think, I think it's the most beautiful instrument from my perspective. Like, there's so much you can do with it. There's so much emotion you can provoke from it, and especially from someone, it's somewhat percussive, right? Like you are just hitting little keys, and there's a mallet whacking strings, but
it even has pedals.
It has pedals. They work slightly differently to the pedals that I'm used to. I'm definitely not trying to do 16th notes on them. But I mean, it slightly translates in terms of coordination, I guess, from drums. But to me, it's just, it's always very much an expressive thing. I wish I was better at it. I'm not good at all. But it is my outlet to sort of expressing myself melodically, I guess.
That's cool.
Yeah. What about you, Nick?
I find that I need to do that as a drummer.
Yeah, because you're starved of melody, right?
Yeah.
Completely. And you were suffocated with rhythm. All over the place, every limb.
Yeah.
Rhythm. I mean, we have some melody that we can excrete.
Yeah.
To some extent. But not the same way. Not the same way.
Yeah. No, it's definitely nice to have that outlet for sure. To have something to.
Because you play guitar, right?
No.
You don't? Who plays the guitars on your records?
Me.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, it's just a product of like heavily edited guitars that I either do note for note or slow, speed up, whatever I need to do to get the thing into the thing. You know what I mean?
Cool, dude. Damn.
So
making it happen.
But I feel you on the needing like a melodic expression outlet.
Yeah.
Past just drums, because sometimes drums don't really like fulfill that for me.
Yep.
Even if I have like a great practice or like whatever the case might be, or like rehearsing stuff and everything feels great, there's still something that isn't completely fulfilled musically with just drums alone.
Yep. I completely understand. And like, especially if I mean, I think musicians are generally emotional people anyway, and because it's the perfect way to sort of express your emotions. It's actually like a actual way to do that without you telling someone how you feel. I think it's like a really cool avenue in sort of sharing how you feel. And playing drums, it's really hard to sort of evoke that sometimes. I mean, for me, what you're playing in North Lane, like it's evoking a lot of like angry feelings within me, or like it's more of a, I can push those feelings into it, and it gets those feelings out of me, and it helps the music as well, if that makes sense. You know, it's like the same sort of vibe, which I find really healthy because I'm able to get out all this stuff out of me when I'm playing in that environment. But I wouldn't say I'm an angry person. And, you know, playing piano helps me, or like butchering the piano rather, helps me, you know, like express different sides of myself. Which like you said, you can't do that on drums a lot of the time.
Yeah, totally. It's weird too, because I do think the next closest thing to like the emotional experience you go through when you like write a song, for example, and you sit back and you're like, holy shit, I did that, right? It's really cool. But the next thing below that is playing live.
Yeah. And
more specifically, not just playing live, because I've played live before with music that I wasn't really totally invested in. But then I've played with artists where I am 100% in the music, and like there's a big chorus or something, you're just like wailing, not giving a fuck how you're looking, and shit's flying everywhere. It's great.
Yeah, amazing.
It's definitely like an energy and a high that is comparable to that melodic expression, just way more intense.
Yeah, totally. There's a demigod feeling.
Yeah,
in my perspective. It's like truly feel godlike.
Especially if you're getting that vibe back from the other guys in your band and the crowd, right?
Yeah. And that's pushed around. It's a good feeling. And at the end of the show, you kind of come back to, and you're like, what just happened? You know, I don't remember any of that. I was in the moment for like an hour, and that's
just went
really cool. That's super cool. Super healthy, I think. It's like meditation, right? Like you're truly in that moment for as long as possible, and you know, all sorts of emotions and feelings are getting thrown around throughout that time. It's crazy. There's been many times where I've finished playing and just been like, what just happened? I can't tell you one specific moment of that time. Where there's the other times where you're lost in your own head and external things are sort of running around your brain and completely distracting, which is the polar opposite.
Do you think that's being in like your flow state?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. 100%.
Alternatively, having those thoughts as well, if they get in, can ruin that gig for yourself altogether.
Yeah, definitely. If your personal life is like this is something out of order, I find that those thoughts slip into my head. Or if you make an early mistake.
Yeah.
The recovery. Yeah, it's hard to recover from that, especially if you come in really hot. You're feeling really good about yourself. You come in, bang, you drop a stick, you fucking easy fill up or whatever, and you're like, ugh, have to recover, and then it becomes hard. But you can also turn that around. You can also, sometimes I use that frustration in my favor, and I just turn it up, you know.
Are you good at recover? I am horse shit at recovering. I have always just failed. If the stick goes, there will be a drop in the beat.
I think there's definitely an art in it, for sure. There's an art in recovery. I've gotten way better in that scenario, dropping a stick and just like almost compulsively just picking up another stick and continuing, which is really cool. And like, you actually rehearse that stuff? No, not at all. That just happened. Like if I have two stick holders either side of me, one I never touch. just there. The other one is in has a lot of workload because I'll drop obviously and stick slipping. Sometimes I'll try stick tricks as well, and at that point there's like strobing lights, and I'm like, what? There it goes, can't catch that, you know, which has made it hard for me to justify doing stick tricks because it's obviously just risky, but sometimes can really add, you know, another 50% stoke to your playing. I'm the coolest. See that? So it has its pros and cons, but yeah, I think there's definite art in recovering. My thing is like if I screw up something, then John is always someone who notices mistakes in our band. Like whoever it is on stage, he'll be the guy who notices. So like if I make a mistake, I know even if he doesn't turn around and look at me, I'm like, he's looking at me.
Eyes behind his head. I had to have a conversation with a band one time to be like, look, don't do that.
Yeah.
Because like both guitar players and the bass player would just look back.
Yeah. And
the
you're like
tiniest thing too. You know what I mean?
It's so obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, like guys, like that's just not necessary, you know. I know I fucked up.
Yes, that's the thing. That's the thing I think everyone needs to understand. It's like I am completely aware of my fuck up. And trust me, I am way harsher than you are. I'm so much harsher on myself than you will be. So just let me.
You don't need like an on-stage intervention in the middle of the song, you know?
Yeah, it's awkward. It's super awkward, actually. But yeah, it happens, and yeah, you just got to push through. I usually try and use the frustration to my advantage. I try and use it to like pump me up further, but I don't think everyone has that luxury because like I think our music evokes those kind of emotions as well. So like it's okay for me to get really angry and like, you know, bring it out onto the kit. Whereas there's obviously you're not going to do that in your jazz band, right? You're not going to drop your stick and start rim shotting as hard as you can and like just wailing on your china. You're gonna, yeah, it's not gonna happen. So,
would you even have a china in a jazz band?
It's just for my snare accents. Which
true.
My non-existent snare accents. I have a china instead of a ride, actually. For my jazz band, rivets and everything. No. But you know what I mean, right? So.
Yeah.
I think with like the more fuck ups on stage and whatever, so long as you don't freak out about them and just adapt and sort of prepare for the next gig, like you have your two stick holders, Nick. So it's like you sort of what's the word? Like you just adapt to it over time, I would say. Yeah. And you just like, drop the stick, reach over, grab it, continue, whatever. Of course, I think for me, the problem I've had in the past is just being so not confident, but like thinking, I haven't fucked up in a while, so I don't have my stick bag next to me ready to go. And in the times where, I've dropped the stick and I'm like, shit. Like I've only got one stick. I can't stop.
Oh, dude.
Because we play covers and dance stuff. So I have to wait to the end of the song unless I can reach for a stick.
I used to put my stick on the floor like an idiot.
Yeah.
Where?
Just on the ground, like next to my throne, like a total idiot. Because if I drop a stick, I have to bend over.
Yeah.
You just keep playing drums. So,
or what about when your pedal comes off the? I don't know if you've had that happen, but because I haven't gigged in a year, and I played a cover gig 2 weeks ago, I just wasn't thinking, and my kick pedal came off the kick drum. The spurs on the bass drum weren't out, so my kick drum's slipping away. Pedals off to the bass guitarist.
Oh, that sounds horrible. I think, did we talk about, I forget if we talked about this, but I played a drum festival, right? And of course, I've only ever played one drum festival. The only drum festival I've ever played, everything that could break broke.
Yeah,
And
we did speak about this.
It was insane. Like, I literally couldn't believe what was happening. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, I broke a kick drum head. How often do you guys break? And then you get on stage for the one drum festival you're ever going to play, and you break a kick drum head. It was just unbelievable. And I remember the tech running out on stage too with a roll of duct tape, guys. And I said in the talkback when I was like, "Oh no, I don't know if duct tape's really going to help," like as a joke. But I was in Poland, and like, maybe people didn't. There was like a language thing as well, right? So no one laughed.
Awkward.
A bit more than duct tape.
Insane.
Dude, that's savage. That's so savage.
But it's moments like that that really help out moving forward, because you're like, okay, that was like the lowest.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Anything can only go up. That is the benefit of fucking up a show. Is that the next one you're like, well, it couldn't get worse than that last one.
Yeah.
So
that's very true.
Yeah. You hit pretty hard as well. So I would feel like, you're one of the hardest hitters I've seen. You use giant sticks too. So
not anymore.
No, you don't use those.
I don't use marching sticks anymore, man. That was a weird, stupid phase. I don't know.
I remember watching you, dude, and you were hitting that hard with these giant sticks, and I was like, those drums, how are they? You was just demoing them. You hit hard, and I remember picking them up and just being like,
I don't do that anymore, man.
Yeah.
I don't use marching sticks.
Did you go through heads a lot with that?
Oh, gee, it was horrible on tour. Like I would have to change them out every, I don't know, like 2-3 days if I really wanted to upkeep stuff. And I didn't have like a head deal too at the height of when I was touring. So it wasn't like I could just easily go spend all this money on drum heads to change them out every 2-3 shows.
Yeah.
So I try and make them last for like 5-6 shows. And by that 6th show, man, they're like, they just look like the moon with like craters everywhere. And like, they don't even they barely make the tom sound, and like, I don't know.
It's like that flappy sound, like the plies are all.
Yeah. I remember there was one time too where like I had to borrow someone's snare, and I felt so bad because whatever they had on must have been just like a 1-ply head. And I just beat it to shit because like I'm not going to like, I don't know, you have to still like perform and like you want to play your shit.
Yeah.
And I just destroyed the head. I remember like buying them several heads after that. I was like, look, I'm sorry, but like it was a 1-ply and it just cratered the shit out of it,
Oh no. Poor guy. That's happened to me before where I think this is one of the last times I let someone use my drum kit. After this I was pedantic.
Because an asshole like me.
Someone like you. He literally created my snare drum and all my toms, and I was playing after them.
Oh.
And and like the snare drum specifically, I had never seen anyone do this. Like, and I mean created, like, it was like, and I was like, how'd you do that in half an hour, bro? Like, that's insane. You must have been, anyway. And then I was just like, cool. Well, I guess I'll crank this up. See if I can stretch out it. Get a lighter, that was the last time. Now I'm that dickhead who doesn't let anyone touch his drums.
Well, it's hard to, because you don't know what's going to happen, especially if you've never met this person before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you want to be nice, and you want to be, especially if you've got a nice drum kit, you're like, yeah, come on,
Yeah.
They don't even have a kit or whatever. You want to be nice, but
you're in like North Flame, man. You can say those things. I can't.
You can, dude.
I can't say though.
You have rep, man. You got serious rep, my dude.
I feel like anytime, like the last tour that I did, I wanted to just keep it my own kit, but I just couldn't. And it was a headlining thing too, but I was just like a fill-in for like a week.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, I don't want anyone playing my shit before. Like, I want it set up and just nice, because the stuff I was playing too was also really incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
But I just didn't have the option.
You just flexed.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that's a thing, right? Like,
did you have a drum tech?
I had a drum tech on that tour, but it was really weird because I still like loaded in and set up my own shit because it felt not right.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I'm not comfortable with it either. I've only had it twice. And I wanted to help. I felt bad. I was like, oh. But, I mean, in that scenario, you got a drum tech. You could have just been like, passed it through him, just avoided the arrogant feeling that you might receive by it and be like, dude.
No, he was super cool about it, super helpful. Yeah. Like, we'll get on stage and before it's two of us helping get the drums back set up. Right.
That's that's good. But still, I feel for you. Yeah. We don't need that.
For me, it's the cymbals that I worry about. I don't know why, if it's my bad experience with cracking cymbals in the past, but like I see, it's funny because I'm like, if someone else fucks my shit up, then I get the shits. But if I do it myself, I'm like, yeah, I did this myself. I played like an idiot. Now I have to replace it.
Yeah.
I don't know why I've set that double standard on my gear, but like,
I completely agree. Well, it's because you paid for it, so you're happy to break it.
Yeah, true.
If someone else breaks it, you're like, fuck yeah.
yeah. Only I can fuck my shit up.
Yeah. You didn't pay for that. I agree with that. And I mean, that seems I've had someone borrow cymbals as well, and same scenario, they're playing before, and actually I've had even people just grab cymbals because they were like, oh no, it's broken, I'll ask him later kind of thing. And then they've broken the cymbal. And I was like, thanks. Thanks for that.
I feel like the only time I've let another drummer use a cymbal is if we're like maybe a week or two into tour and we're like, cool.
Yeah, that's different.
Otherwise, like cymbals are just like such a breakable thing and an expensive thing, It's like
completely disposable item. Like same as sticks, they are the same as drumsticks and drum heads. You
can at least use like a drum head as like a frisbee on tour, but like can't chuck a cymbal at someone.
Unless you're trying to do Captain America impersonation.
Remember on that Texas in July, or on that Structures tour, we used to play bottle.
Yeah, what we do? Were they like juggling a bottle?
We would play bottle. I forget how we played it, but we would just play bottle.
I just remember bottle. Yeah. Simple game.
And it was so much fun. Like I remember pulling up to the venues like a week into that tour, just being like, I'm not even looking forward to the show. I just want to play bottle.
Is this with a glass bottle?
A water bottle.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I just totally forget what we did with the bottle, but it was like a fun
there was
group.
Group dynamic around a simple object.
Yeah.
It was like load in and then bottle.
Musicians.
Simple things. Right? Yeah. So simple. Oh my god. Bottle. Yeah, dude. He was the Structures tour. Now that you say that, I was like trying to think who the other band was. The Structures
in Texas in July.
Yeah, that's right.
Texas in July were the ones with the bottle game.
Yeah, and that was probably both those bands' last tour. I think.
Was it? Yeah, I don't know.
I think it was Structures and possibly even Texas.
That's crazy.
Some serious metal going on, some serious gent.
We on the way home, by the way, on that tour. This was so brutal. I can't even believe this. But we tried to play shows back through the States to circle back around to Toronto because it ended in British Columbia, in Vancouver, right?
Yeah, dude.
And we played that awesome music store venue thing or whatever, and had a lot of fun. So we come back down to the States, and we're in Idaho. I forget what city exactly, maybe Boise. And it was a 600 cap room or something like that.
Yeah.
And we played to 6 people. Literally 6 people. And it was because it was like intervals, we were trying to come back. We did like a headlining thing. We were like, no one knew us, right? But like, because we just needed gas money to essentially get back across the country. Yeah. We had like an hour set, and we played for like 45 minutes to 6 people. It was brutal.
45 out of the allocated hour?
I think so, yeah. It was something like that. I think I remember like cutting it short, just being like,
what are we doing?
What are we doing, guys? Yeah. 45 minutes to 6 people, man. It was
the glorified band practice.
Yeah.
This is savage. After doing a tour, that's the worst. If you did that before the tour, you'd be okay with it. But at the end, like heading home, you're just like, what am I doing?
Yeah, that was brutal.
What is life?
Did they do circle pits though?
Wasn't even enough for that.